TYR WZA SoCal and the TYR Cup. We've got Matt O'Keefe, Chandler Smith, Ellie Turner, and Theo, the dog, is keeping us company too. Yeah. We're about to kick off. We've got Team World and Team North America are going to take on the first workout of the TYR Cup for 2024. Matt, I want to ask you about being here because you were involved for years with Wodapalooza, became synonymous with Miami, a winter break, and now what's it like seeing it here and seeing it grow to incorporate the TYR Cup as well?
Yeah, it is, first of all, such a pleasure to be here and see this come to life. I know this has been a dream of particularly Dylan and the team for so many years to expand and create more access to the Wodapalooza brand. I'm just really proud of these guys. I think they dream big and then they act, and they're the best in the biz. You know, I've been around them, been on their team. I've always said it's the hardest working team in the business, so it's just great to see this come to life. I mean, what's better than this? We're on a beach in California. I got a sweatshirt on. The wind's blowing through my hair. You know,
it blew it off.
Yes, yes. But just a lot of pride. Dylan and the team do such a great job, and it's great to see them expand the opportunity for people to experience this in another part of the country.
Chandler, you had the arduous commute. Probably the shortest commute of everyone here. You had a short drive. You have been around the sport a long time. This is kind of like a hark back to the invitational days, and it's got elements of like Ryder Cup and that kind of stuff about it too. It's exciting for the sport, right?
Yeah, I think anytime you get the chance to see the best in the world specifically in their element, because we're always at the games, and the generalist approach to that maybe keeps people from seeing some of the unique skill sets that these athletes have to the fullest capacity. But I'm really excited to get the chance to watch Guy lift or watch Pat fall down on the handstand walk or any of these things that everybody's bringing to the field. So I'm really just pumped to see North America go and show the world what's up.
Ellie, any split allegiances here? So obviously your other half is on Team North America, so you want to be a supportive partner, but you're also from Australia. So which side of the divide do you fall this weekend?
Honestly, it's really hard. I am excited to sort of see the banter between the two teams. I've seen firsthand how much Americans love America. So I think it's going to be pretty fun to watch both teams just battle it out.
Hold on a second. I think the most prideful sports fans in the world are Australians. So.
Yeah, but I think we are also open to other countries and interests outside of just Australia,
I love it. Okay, great.
Yeah.
Chandler, if you're in this kind of scenario and you're, like I was in some of the rooms yesterday when the teams were kind of divvying out the roles and who's going to take on what, is it hard when you're an elite athlete to put your ego aside and say, okay, maybe I'm not the best person to do this?
It's the easiest thing imaginable. I think your options are either you go out there and you do something that you're not good at and you get embarrassed and people on the internet make fun of you, or you can do what I would do, which would be to duck all responsibility and let everybody else kind of handle it. And I think with the team structure, with getting to pick some athletes for certain events, I really saw a way. I'm obviously jealous I'm not competing, but I visualized myself and I realized if I was out there I would have found a way to strategize every workout to where I didn't have to do any of them. And I imagine some of these guys are doing the same. Again, not to pick on Pat, but it seems probably like something he would do. Good idea for him to disguise his fitness at the moment.
Yeah. Matt, if you positioned yourself as a coach for one of these teams, as like the head honcho, are you struggling to pick for, say, this first event? Like, how would you envision that? You've got the whole weekend to think about. You've got all the stuff that's still to come.
What's the workout?
Chandler, what's...
All right, so the first workout, I believe, is you got 2 males and 2 females from each team.
Correct.
I would say the roster, but everyone knows that, so I don't need to waste time discussing who's who. And even the order of the event seems extraneous, but I do know that there's chest to bar, handstand walk obstacle, kettlebell deadlift, and echo biking, so a very well-rounded test of fitness.
So, Matt, No, I wouldn't expect you to pick the 4. Going back to like your major involvement here historically has been building this competition to like be one that's synonymous in the off season and one that the athletes want to do. Starting something new is always tricky. Like, you know, branching out and doing something different. So when you have this starting the TYR Cup and changing the face of what team competition can be in the sport, I mean, we've kind of alluded to it, the kind of Ryder Cup aspect of, you know, it's all fun and games until I'm guessing they walk on the competition floor, but there's already some trash talk, some, you know, ego getting in the way and stuff. But also the fact that they're doing the different structure for the different workouts. So you've got these team of 4 is our first one, like classic CrossFit Games. You've got the classic Miami Wadapalooza 3s. The captains are facing off. We've got all this stuff to come all weekend. How easy or difficult is it to pitch something like this and to kick it off and to try and get it to hit the ground running and take off the way that they want it to take off?
Yeah. Well, first of all, we're about to see the best athletes in the world compete together on a platform that they normally compete on. It's really cool, right? I'm very excited to see how they interact, communicate, and execute. You know, you asked me earlier about coaching. I don't think that's I mean, you can pick any one of those people and interchange them in any workout, and you're going to be really successful. I think the most successful this weekend is going to be those that are really real with themselves, set their ego aside, and, you know, level on what they're best at and not, and who's better, right, in the grand scheme of things. But, you know, getting to watch the best athletes in the world compete on a team, which is a venue that they're not normally competing on and in, it's a pretty special opportunity. I mean, we've had this experience in CrossFit with the Invitational. It was a fantastic event. It was a ton of fun to watch. The athletes got really charged up for that on an annual basis. You know, you're fighting for your flag often in that, right? It's really cool. You see a lot of pride. It's very Olympic-esque, you know. So I'm excited to see some of that passion come out with these guys in this event this weekend.
And if you want to see some passion, come back after the break and you'll hear the dulcet tones of Chase Ingram and the voice of CrossFit, Sean Woodland, talking us through that first workout, so stick around.
Get ready. Yeah, get ready. It's going down. Look at us now. You hear the scream from the crowd. It's going down. We on the ground. It's the realness we bring it right now. It's going down. It's going down. Yeah, it's about that.
It takes courage to navigate the unknown, instincts to detect and prevent threats in real time, and discipline to rise to the occasion every day. It takes the strength to stand up for what is right, the ambition to go beyond the comfort zone. Some aren't up to the challenge, but we are.
TYR Cup.
Do you have what it takes?
Get ready.
It's a different location, a different competition, but it is the same celebration of fitness, community, and life. The TYR Cup takes center stage in Huntington Beach. Down to the competition floor for the introductions of Team North America and Team World.
61, and here's up receiving $40K and a $10K cash prize, the single MVP of the weekend, propelling their team to victory. How do teams work? Teams are comprised of the best athletes in the world, 4 men and 4 women per squad, with a male and female captain. Adding to the excitement, captains get to pick their 4th and final male and female teammates. The TYR Cup events close out each day of competition and feature the following unique fitness test types. Individual. All athletes from all teams compete in the same workout against each other in same-gendered heats. All hands. This test finds all 8 athletes working together in some form or fashion, whether relay style, at the same time, or in a team-style metcon. Spotlight. Teams nominate 1 male and 1 female based on specific skill sets, including a strength test, a gymnastics test, and a monostructural test. Miami team. 3 guys and 3 girls perform separate workouts each, with 1 male and 1 female sitting out. CrossFit Games team. This brings together teams of 2 men and 2 women with 2 different workouts. Makeup. Teams will strategize to put their best athletes on the floor, depending on the event and their strengths to represent their squad. Teams gain a point per event win, with the team with the most event victories at the end of the weekend taking home the hardware. Who will be the inaugural TYR Cup champions? Find out for yourself.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, let's see some athletes out here for our inaugural TYR Cup event. The home team, first Team North America. Your first athlete, make some noise for the champ, Mr. Jeffrey Adler. And now your first competitor for Team World. Put your hands together for Danielle Brandon. Second athlete for Team North America. Give it up, ladies. Come on out, Ariel. Huntington Beach makes a noise for your second competitor for Team World, Brent Flakowski. Next up for Team North America, you know him, you love him, CrossFit Games champion, the man with the hair, Justin Monteiro. Next up, your third athlete for Team World. Put your hands together for Tia-Clair. Your next athlete for Team North America. The spicy one, Dallin. Your fourth member of Team World needs no introduction, but make some noise for the Olympic lifting powerhouse, Gudmundson. Keep it going for the whole team. Next athlete up. Let's make some noise for Alexis Raptez. consistency. Right here in 1A. Make some noise for Ellie. Ladies and gentlemen, California, make some noise for your next team competitor, Gracie Walter. And your first team captain from Team North America, on the gentleman's side, Captain Patrick Vellner. And now your first captain for Team World, the one, the only, BKG, Karl Gudmundson. And your final female and final team captain for Team North America, from Southern California, make some noise for Danielle And your final competitor for Team World, put your hands together for the captain of the best in the world, Tia-Clair.
Team North America versus Team World. The 16 athletes have been introduced. They are on the floor, and we are set for the opening event of the TYR Cup here at TYR WZA SoCal. I'm Sean Woodland with Chase Singer. We got Bella Martin down on the competition floor. Event 1, teams of 4 going at this thing.
Classic CrossFit Games lineup. 2 men, 2 women for both teams of Team World North America. You're going to go 4 rounds, 18 chest to bar pull-ups, handstand walk course, you go, I go format, synchro kettlebell deadlifts. Everyone rides the bike, deadlifts, and then a handstand walk course to finish. Go back and down for 4 rounds.
A lot of moving parts in this opening event. What are your keys to success?
You're doing synchro. You need to have one voice, not just with the team, but one captain on the floor dictating the pace, dictating the rest, dictating the breaks. Adapt or divide. If you don't adapt when things get tough, you're going to fall apart.
2 men, 2 women from each team will be representing their squads on the floor for North America. It's Medeiros, Vellner, Raptis, and Brandon for the world. Guimajeros, BKG, Tia Toomey, and Gracie Walton. And for more on the lineups and how this decision was reached, let's send it down to the 3rd member of our broadcast crew, Bella Martin.
When it came down to deciding who was going to go when and which workouts this weekend, the team captain said it was no-brainer. All of these athletes are phenomenal on their own in the individual field, so they just let them play to their strengths. I caught up with Danielle Brandon just a couple seconds ago asking, okay, this is event number 1. What are we looking for in this one? And she says Team North America is ready to set the tone for the weekend. Things look good for them on paper. We'll see if the strategy pays off, guys.
Thank you, Bella. Still getting the floor set up here before we start event number 1. The first of 3 events that we will have for you here tonight on a cold night here at Huntington Beach.
It is a little chilly out here. The wind is whipping off the ocean. We are at the pier here at Huntington Beach, and it is cold, it's windy. You can see some of the athletes wearing some long sleeves, but it is packed here on the competition floor. And the thing I love about this, Sean, is that you have the best in the world competing against each other with Team World and Team North America. But there's a lot of athletes who have never done team before, maybe in elite competition such as this. So it's going to be very interesting to see. Danielle Brandon, it's a handstand walk event. Now, it's not only a handstand walk event, but if there's a handstand walk event, it is synonymous with Danielle Brandon.
I think some people may have assumed that Ariel Lowen would have been the 4th representative here for North America. Alexis Raptis, I think, to some might be an interesting choice.
Well, Raptis is so good on her hands, but if you look at Alexis Raptis, Danielle Brandon, and Ariel Lowen, their skill sets with handstand pushes and handstand walks in gymnastics are so similar. They can pick and choose anyone they want. But what we do know is that Ariel Lowen is actually going to take the lifting portion later tonight, so probably giving her a little bit of rest so she can maximize her lifts later.
And there's Brent Fikowski, who has set aside his North American citizenship and is representing the world
team in this competition.
Well, Brent Fikowski stepping in. When it came to selecting the world team, obviously there's availability, there's health, there's scheduling. Brent stepping in for Team World, and that's going to be a tough player to have on their team to go against North America this weekend.
Fikowski's going to sit this one out. Guy Majeros, Gracie Walton, Bjorgvin, Karl, Gudmundson, and Tia Toomey will go for the world team.
10 seconds.
As we are about to get ready to start
Stand by.
event number 1 and those 18 synchro chest to bar pull-ups to kick us off. TYR Cup officially underway. 1 point to the winner of the event. The first of 11 events that these two teams will face. And again, different formats, 3-on-3, sometimes 2-on-2. We have a captains going head-to-head. It's going to be a lot of fun this weekend.
It's going to be a lot of fun, and it's just a unique twist to the team competition that I think is desperately needed in a competitive team environment.
Well, the world team goes unbroken on the 18 chest to bar. The North America team took a break, and it's Guy Majeros out first for the world team. On the handstand obstacle course, Danielle Brandon fell and had to go back to the beginning. So Guy Majeros is all the way through, and now the world team already has their second athlete onto the handstand walk portion, as Danielle Brandon is running the lead leg here on this portion of the event for North America.
Now what this is, Sean, it's a you go, I go format. So the next athlete cannot start the handstand walk until the previous one has finished the obstacle.
And now Medeiros is through for North America. Tia Toomey through for the world team. Vellner just stumbled at the beginning as well. The world team opening up a bit of a lead here early on as Bjorgvin, Karl, Gudmundson is through.
And see the world team on the ramp as they've chalked both sides of the ramp. Twofold there. It's going to have you better grip on the ramp. As it starts to cool, sometimes the equipment gets a little dewy and a little slick. So a savvy move from Team North America.
Team World is now through as Gracie Walton just completed her handstand walk, and now they will move on to the 12 synchro kettlebell deadlifts, 124 pounds for the men, 88 pounds for the women. North America getting themselves set up here, and they'll begin as well, but it's the world team out front early.
And Sean, the other thing I'm looking at North America is they looked almost lost a little bit on the kettlebell deadlifts. They didn't know who to go where in place. And over the course of 4 rounds, that can either get negated or it can get exemplified and made worse if the team can't communicate. And this is where the adapt portion of this came into play. It's loud. It's moving a lot faster than maybe you thought it was going to at the start. Now, can we just cool down here on the bike?
There's Pat Vellner as he and the North America team are going through their calories on the Echo bike. 24 for the men, 18 for the women.
And no one can move on until all are done because we're going to move back to the kettlebells before we go to the ramp to finish just the first round of this. Now with the bike, they know what the events are in advance. They should have been practicing this at nauseam. It's like, what is the wattage I have to hold to finish at this time? What is the wattage you have to hold as far as the men and the women to all finish at the same time? That's going to be the key here. You don't want to get ahead too fast and just waste your energy for no reason.
Hand in the air for Danielle Brandon as she is just about done with her 18 calories. There's Guy Majeros. Definitely going to see him later on in the lifting event.
Oh, we will. And I think some people are surprised that if they haven't been watching the sport for a long time, yes, that is what Guy's known for. Speed, power, and absolute strength. But he's also incredible at gymnastics movements, especially handstand walk courses.
Well, the North America team has now closed the gap, and we are tied as we hit the 12 synchro kettlebell deadlifts here in the back half of the first of 4 rounds. After this, it's one more handstand walk O course, and then they will go back for the 18 synchro chest to bar pull-ups, and they'll perform those at the other end of the floor.
Team World took a break on this set of kettlebell deadlifts. North America went straight through.
And it's Majeros and Brandon, the first 2 out on the handstand walk O course. Majeros is going to go straight through. Brandon in the background took a quick break. And now Brandon.
That is the second stumble we've had from Danielle Brandon on this handstand walk course.
Well, this is where Team World was able to separate themselves early in this first round. As now Gracie Walton's taking a break, and that is Justin Medeiros up and over.
One thing to say, you see Danielle Brandon chalking it up. That is almost more for sighting than it can be for anything else. It is dark outside. There are lights on two ends of the floor. These athletes have probably never walked on a black handstand walk course in shadows, inverted. And that might be where Danielle Brandon is losing some of her sighting on the handstand walk, is that everything's kind of blending together or getting stuck in the shadows.
Bjorgvin Karl Gudmundson is through for Team World, as is Alexis Raptis, and here comes Tia Toomey as the North American team is now in the lead. They will be the first team to start their 18 synchro chest bar pull-ups here in round number 2 of 4. They can work their way back down the floor to the other side.
If you don't think we have a lot of work to do, we're at the 5-minute mark. This is a 4-round event, so there is a lot of work that is left because of the 4 total rounds. Team North America took a break in the middle part of that, and I like that because it's not just 18 chest bar pull-ups. It's 18 chest bar pull-ups times 4, and couple that with the kettlebell deadlift. So this can get very grippy. Even with the handstand walk, everybody thinks you get inverted, it's more of a pressing movement, which it is, but it is still taxing on the grip and the hands.
North America maintaining the lead now that they gained in the back half of round number 1 as Danielle Brandon is the first woman through, goes back to chalk up that obstacle course. Guy Mayeros is just about done, and here comes Justin Medeiros, who'll be the second of 2 people through for Team North America.
And Brandon, your 2
Tia Toomey on her hands for the world team. And here comes Pat Vellner.
Pat Vellner gets across that handstand obstacle course. Team North America lengthening their lead as we pass this.
Now Alexis Raptis in the all blue, closest to camera.
And BKG with the
Bjorgvin Karl Gudmundson on the hands for the world team.
Obstacle 1 done.
And North America will get to work on their round of kettlebell deadlifts before moving back to the bike. 12 reps here.
North America is opening up a massive lead on it. And then you see Tia Toomey also chalking up the ramps. So Team World hasn't done that at all on the first round, but Tia is now doing it herself. And what I'm curious to think is, again, is that twofold? Is it helping you siding, and is it helping him? Because it's, look, it's getting slick out here. The temperature has dropped, the sun has gone down. So when that happens, you get this little dew or residue on the equipment, and that could be a part of that.
Team North America on to the Echo bike for the second of 4 times now, as they are beginning to open up a wider lead on the world team. Go ahead.
I really like the pairing that North America has put out here with Pat and Justin specifically for the men, because this is just a grinder event. This is just CrossFit. And it's a little bit of an interval base because you have that you go, I go format. Well, when you think about what Justin Medeiros is so good at, it's just run-of-the-mill, grinded out CrossFit. Pat Vellner, the same way, but more in that interval format. We saw that a couple years ago at the CrossFit Games. And then you look at Danielle Brandon and Alexis Raptis, who are just such good athletes that they can navigate this course so well. I think this is a great pairing for North America.
The judges' hands in the air for all of the North American athletes. Vellner's done, Medeiros hopping off, Brandon is done, and Raptis will be the last to finish off her 18 calories. Back to the kettlebells for another 12 synchro deadlifts, and then the O course, and then they will start round 3 of 4. Team North America took a break on their last set of 12. We'll see if they go unbroken here, and they're going to break one more time, as the world team in the background is getting set to close out their 24 and 18 calories. And now they will join the North America team on this round of kettlebell deadlifts. Danielle Brandon, once again, the first woman out. Takes a break after the ramps, and now up and over the stairs for Brandon.
As we approach the 9-minute mark.
And she will get through cleanly. Justin Medeiros, next man up for North America. The world team in the background still on their 12 synchronized kettlebell deadlifts, and they are now done with those.
It's funny to think when you look at Team North America in this lineup is that Pat Vellner actually might be the, quote, worst one at the handstand walk. and he is still one of the better ones in the field. But when you think inverted pressing movements, he'll even tell you yourself, is like, some people peg me for the handstand walk, but they forget he's more of a puller. This guy can pull all day long when it comes to gymnastics, and it's the handstand walk that could give him a little bit of trouble as the fatigue grows over the course of this event.
Alexis Raptis is going to be last for Team North America as Gracie Walton looking to be the second woman on her team to finish. Now Walton having some problems with the steps, and she just fell over on her initial trip up, and now North America is into round 3. 18 chest-to-bar pull-ups to start their trip back down the other way as the world team is falling farther behind here.
And Sean, it looks like North America went a little bit faster on that second round than they did the first. And we talked about the missteps they had at the very beginning, the chest-to-bar pull-ups, the first handstand walk, knowing where to go on the deadlift. When you do 1 round down, 1 round back with 2 rounds left to go, you start to figure out your pace. And this is the pace and the rhythm that you want to see with synchro work.
Team North America is already done with their 3rd round of 18 synchro chest-to-bar pull-ups. Danielle Brandon back on the obstacle course as now Toomey is just getting on for the world team as they close out round 2.
We'll see both ramps now completely chalked up for both teams.
Really putting some distance as they set the sync up now. Team World onto their set.
Pat Vellner will be the 3rd team member for North America through as the world team is on their 18 synchro chest-to-bar pull-ups. Alexis Raptis now running into problems on her trip up the stairs. And now Raptis is up and will look to go unbroken here.
The harder one between the two, ramp or stairs, has always been the stairs. We saw this first come into regionals in 2018 when this got involved. It was the stairs that threw everybody for a loop. So the stair-stair combo is the tougher of the 2 ramps.
12 more synchro kettlebell deadlifts for the North America team as now the world team has started round 3 of 4. Majeros and Toomey through the handstand walk obstacle course. Here comes Bjorgvin Karl Gudmundson on the left side of your screen.
Now what's nice here is that, look, it's one heat. It's one event. You know if you're leading and you know if you don't. So this is an opportunity. Look, it's a long weekend. This is event 1 of a 3-day competition of 10+ events for all of these athletes, depending on how they pick and choose and place people in them. So if you get yourself a comfortable lead and you can see that they're not going to catch you, it's not a bad time. It's like, hey, listen, I know we're taking a 5-second break at the deadlift. Let's take a 10-second break after this one, because if we want to set ourselves up for success throughout the course of the weekend, there's absolutely no reason to kill yourself on this event if you don't have to.
Well, the North America team right now is continuing to widen their lead as the world team left side now onto their first set of synchro kettlebell deadlifts here in round 3. Justin Medeiros and Pat Vellner working through their 24 calories. On the other side, both Danielle Brandon and Alexis Raptis have to complete 18 calories, and now Vellner's putting the finishing touches on that. Here comes the world team to join them on the bikes. Danielle Brandon just about done as well. And it'll be back to the kettlebells for the final time in round 3, and then one final handstand walk obstacle course before they move into the 4th and final round.
The thing with these kettlebells, like the weight these athletes can deadlift, this is nothing. But what this actually is it's disrupting their ability to stabilize overhead. When you pull on the shoulders with kettlebells, because they are free floating in space and you can't control like a barbell, that pulling on the top of your shoulders actually makes it more difficult to stabilize over your head, whether it's with the weight or inverted with a handstand walk.
North America team is now done with their 12 synchro deadlifts. Danielle Brandon out again first.
Keep the same order. You can put your best handstand walker out there. No matter how tired she is, she's still taking that little bit of a break just to keep her moving, just to flush her shoulders out a little bit. And other than that one misstep she had in the very first handstand walk, she's been pretty flawless since.
Justin Medeiros will be the second man through, as now the world team is getting set to start their handstand walk obstacle course.
For North America, entering round number 4. Here comes
Part of the world team is on the deadlifts.
Yeah, they're falling pretty far behind. Pat Vellner, again, the steps here, it's so tough. And the hard part there is having to go from ramp to steps. This is the hardest direction to go in. Alexis Raptis had a little bit of a trouble to start this third round. And what it is just lifting your hand up enough to press up on the stairs. That's actually a much better go at it than she had earlier.
The Raptis is through, and now the North America team is into round 4. Fourth and final round. They start with 18 synchronized chest to bar pull-ups. The world team is now on to the handstand walk obstacle course with Guimajeros. Right side of your screen, that white weightlifting belt is the first man through for his squad. Here comes Gracie Walton behind him. So the world team has been flip-flopping the order a little bit on the handstand walk obstacle courses. We've seen Tia go out first, so now this time it's Gracie Walton.
And that was part of the keys to this event is adapt or divide. It's, as you said, North America is keeping the same event or same order on the walks because it's working. But what happens in an event is like you get fatigued. Maybe things just don't start going the way you want to. So you have to be able to adapt on the fly.
There goes Danielle Brandon.
18 chest to bar pull-ups done for the North America team as Gracie Walton is taking a sizable break here.
She took a sizable header at the top of that staircase.
And she's still just the second woman, or second teammate for the world team to now get through this portion of the event. So barring a disaster, the North America team is going to pick up the opening point of the competition.
Well, and Sean, that goes to my point is if you're ahead by what looks like now a minute or two, you're not getting caught barring a disaster, as you said. Here, it's only a point. You're not going to get 3 points by whooping them more than 2 minutes. It's just a point. So shut it down, get to the finish line. Everybody just, you don't have to burn it out for another round. Get your point, and then just get ready for the next event.
Well, there's Alexis Raptis, and we saw Vellner struggle a little bit on the opening part of this, and now Raptis has got to go back to the start as the world team has now begun their fourth and final round on their final set of 18 synchro chest to bar pull-ups.
And we saw Alexis had the same issue to start the round in round number 3, and that could just be coming off the chest to bar pull-ups and your fatigue, but you would think she looked better actually on the second half of the walks.
The world team took a break on that set of 18, and they got out of sync there. Now they're trying to get things sorted out in the background as the North America team is on their first of 2 sets of kettlebell deadlifts here in this fourth and final round.
As Team World with just 2 more synchronized chest to bar pull-ups to go.
Team World done with their pull-ups, but it's not going to matter.
As they move forward for their final Echo Bike calories.
And that's the one thing I've been trying to work on, Sean, at the gym is how to just step on and go on the Echo Bike. And I can never do it. I'll step on and then it just starts shooting in reverse as its pendulum swings back to me. I gotta work on that skill.
It is exciting here.
The final time on the Echo Bike for North America.
Inaugural TYR WZA SoCal.
They have had the lead since round 2 here and have yet to relinquish it.
Much more controlled pace by all 4 of them, which is what you would expect to happen. And hope that, look, the captains are coaching the team, but I think I saw an Adam Knifer sighting at the gym the other day, and he might be getting a little extra coaching from the side, which they should be.
Miami and now all the way here on the West Coast, some say even the best coast.
Oh, Gracie Walton's got a no rep, and she can't hear her judge. She's got to go back.
Yeah, did the whole rep.
At the 18.5-minute mark.
Not sure what happened there, but the judge was, and now she's not going back. She's going to continue to go. It looked like she was getting sent back.
I mean, I'm pretty sure that was, but, you know, it's not going to matter.
For each event.
North America team all about done with their calories on the Echo Bike. They'll head back to the kettlebells for 12 final deadlifts. And then a
North America.
final trip over the handstand walk obstacles to lock up the event win and 1 point for their team to kick off the TYR Cup here at TYR WZA SoCal in Huntington Beach.
Our athletes from a first place finish. Mike was talking about Wadapalooza going coast to coast. North America going coast to coast on the competition floor. And eyeing that first place victory here in event number 1 with 5 more
Another break
synchronized deadlifts to go.
for North America, and they've taken this break at the same spot every time.
Final rep there, come on. Team North America. Final course in front of the captain, Danielle Brandon.
Danielle Brandon leading off again for North America. Final handstand walk obstacle course for her team. Here comes Justin Medeiros.
Put your hands together for Justin Medeiros.
Medeiros is in.
Across that line,
Oh, you see that little slide of the hand, and that's what we're talking about.
Pat Vellner is up and over the ramp cleanly and will go right into the steps. This is where he's had some problems.
And this is that upper body fatigue that Pat tends to have towards the end of events with a lot of overhead pressing in it.
And he is through, and now Alexis Raptis to close things out
Let's make some noise.
for North America.
Team North America, Alexis.
It's that right arm on the step up for Alexis that tends to be giving her a problem. Yeah, you just saw it.
She has plenty of time here as the world team is now just on the Echo Bike.
At the top of the steps, making her way down.
Raptis is in. North America takes event number 1 and picks up the opening point here of the TYR Cup.
Event of TYR WZA SoCal, Team North America.
Celebration had Waterboy vibes to that. Slap hands.
And about 40 seconds.
And I don't know if they're going to make Team World finish or not.
Oh, they should. You don't get to
that
take a
would
break.
be fair. You can't just.
You don't get to take a break just because you took a whooping.
Team World now under the kettlebell deadlifts.
They are. If you're going to start it, you're going to finish it. Team World, 20 seconds remaining. We'll get them through all the way to that 22-minute mark. SoCal, make some noise. 10 seconds.
There is a 22-minute time cap here, so Team World's going to get capped. But it doesn't matter because they're going to finish second place, so no points for them. And it's Team North America. They'll have a 1-0 lead heading into the second event, which will be teams of 3. We'll have 2 different heats.
Raptis, Vellner, and Brandon, Team North America.
Pat Vellner, Danielle Brandon, Alexis Raptis, and Justin Medeiros locking up the point for North America.
The year winners, we're going to send it over to Bella Martin. See how our lungs are
21 minutes, 1 second for North America and some change. The world team gets capped. And it's a 1-0 lead for North America. And the world team had that early lead as North America struggled early on the handstand walk.
Yeah, they just had some miscues and issues in that. You know, the North America's the hardest opponent right now is just staying on the same page. And we were talking about this earlier, is Danielle Brandon chalking up the ramps from start to finish, either to help with the condensation that was building on the mats as the sun goes down, and it got to be cool. And this is where World started to slow down, as they're having a lot of trouble navigating the handstand walk course. And this is an event that's programmed that every piece of this matters, not necessarily one individually by itself, but if there's one part of this where one of your team members is going to struggle, that's going to be the difference between you and a first place finish.
1-0 North America. Bella Martin is with your winning team.
We're going to set the tone going into this one, and I think you did just that. We were watching you chalk up that handstand walk ramp. What was going through your mind? What was the purpose of that?
Well, I had a pretty bad experience back in COVID where they sprayed the mats and I slid, and I was just prepared. It was, you know, I was not here to make any rookie mistakes, so we did just that.
No rookie mistakes, and I'm hearing that leadership. First round looked a little bit tough. What did we have to do to adjust on the fly coming from one of our captains of Team North America?
We just wait for the other guys to make mistakes. That's all there is to it. Fast thinking by Danielle with the humidity change kept the clamps a little less slick, and I don't think they had the same quality leadership on the other side.
Thanks, Pat. Thanks, Team North America. We'll see you out for event number 2.
Good. North America opened up with an event win. We still have 2 more events to go here on Friday in Huntington Beach. So stay with us, everybody. The teams of 3. We're doing it Miami style. Oh. Coming up next as the TYR Cup continues here from TYR WZA SoCal in Huntington Beach.
New double chopped salads, now with chicken or Baja shrimp, only at El Pollo Loco.
The workout was a burner. It was a lot. The assault row was super cool.
I'm out of Armor CrossFit in Orlando. I'm a mom of 4. This is my first Wodapalooza, so I love it. I love the assault runner.
Elizabeth Lane from Salt Lake City, Utah. The assault row is rough. It's hard. Going into each interval, you just kind of got to pace it. So that's what you do. Hope everybody else did the same.
I like the assault runner a lot. It's very taxing on your hamstrings. I'm in the 16 to 18 boys team division, representing CrossFit 970 in Northern Colorado.
My name is Felipe Garilla. I came from Spain, Indian CrossFit. It's my first time with assault rower. It was good, and I like it.
Jackson, Mississippi, CrossFit 601. Oh, it's so hard. Today's tough.
I think that the more consistently you use the plunge, the more you start to crave it. Your body wants that feeling, whether it's the cold itself or the way that you feel after. I definitely feel like I'm big on celebrating small wins, whether it's in the gym, here at home, in relationships, and so the accomplishment of getting in the cold plunge, staying in for whatever time you've set for yourself is one of those small wins for me. CrossFit by nature puts a lot of wear and tear on your body. We're doing such a variety of movements, lifting heavy weights, which can take its toll on your muscles and joints around your knees and back. With access to cold plunge every day of the week, I feel like the consistent treatment of those aches and pains allows me to feel better and train harder.
Whoop. Sleep better, train smarter, recover faster, and feel healthier. Understand and optimize your sleep. Get coaching and insights for every age, stage, and cycle. Track over 140 habits. Get a 360 view of your training and workouts. Never miss a second of data with a wireless and waterproof charger. Expect all new features all the time.
Event 2 is presented by Dymatize, the official protein powder of TYR WZA as competition continues on the opening night of the TYR Cup. Glad you're with us, everybody, from Huntington Beach, California. I'm Sean Woodland with Chase Ingram. Bella Martin is down on the competition floor. After one event, it is North America leading 1-0 as each event only worth 1 point. We go from teams of 4 to now teams of 3, and the worm is out.
Classic Wadapalooza style. 3 women going against each other, 3 men going against each other. We'll start off with the women, and Sean, here's the crazy thing is that there's only been a 5-minute break since the first event, and Danielle Brandon is taking double duty. Toomey is pulling double duty, but this is how it's gonna go. 24 alternating wall walks, 3 rounds of 18, 12, 6 of worm, push press, squats, and thrusters. 2 rounds and 2, 1 rounds and 1.
Let's talk about keys now as we switch to these Miami teams of 3.
Well, Sean, like anything great in this life, it's all about rhythm and tempo. I'm speaking about golf, of course. This is a Ryder Cup of CrossFit competition, but the worm rules all. We've been watching this event pretty much all day, and how you handle the worm will dictate how you finish this event.
2 heats, men and women. The score is the combined time of the 2 trios. Now the women will be out first.
Now, there was a twist that was involved with the alternating, and this is it. The athletes must all hold an inverted handstand walk, and then one will go down and up, and then the judge will call the next athlete to go down and up. So you're going to have to hold a wall-facing inverted handstand hold while one athlete goes and then goes back up. I absolutely love this. These are things I actually used to program with the team I would that qualified for the CrossFit Games, Lone Star CrossFit, and we would do these waterfall reps is what I like to call them. So to see this on the competition floor for this event is very exciting.
Well, so far, it's the North America team with a 1-rep lead over the world team.
And Sean, we saw earlier, 5 minutes ago, was that Danielle Brandon was chalking the handstand walk obstacles, and now it's just a affiliate owner's nightmare.
Oh, man.
Is that we chalked the entire competition floor, and I don't blame them. Look, it's slick out here. These mats have been sitting in the sun all day. When the sun goes down, and so does the temperature, that's when you start to get that condensation of the mats.
Was Ariel Lowen getting through her rep. Other side, the world team has started to pull even. Now Tia-Clair and Toomey take a quick break. 24 is the number they need to hit before they will move to the worm.
And Sean, what's wild here, as we said, is that it was only about 5 minutes between the first event finishing and the second. The men are going after this. So if they're pulling double duty, then they at least get a 20-minute break between here and then. Danielle Brandon and Toomey have gotten anything but 5 minutes break in between.
And North America is now done. Brandon, Rolfe, and Lowen moving to the worm.
That's a worm complex of 18 worm push presses, 12 worm squats, and then 6 worm thrusters.
But for more on the worm, let's send it down to the competition floor and the 3rd member of our broadcast team, Bella Martin.
Guys, that worm is 222 pounds. So divided between those 3 ladies, it's not a heavy sandbag of sorts, but that volume on the shoulders is definitely going to come into play here. Chatting with Danielle earlier, we were talking about how much she was kind of dreading this worm, but she said, you know, she's got to take control of it. She's the leader, so of course she's going to be back out here. The fatigue doesn't matter to her. She's going to do what she has to do. I'm excited to see how these ladies keep going through it.
North America is now onto the second portion of this triplet, the 12 squats. The world team right side of your screen, just closing out their 18 push press. And now into the final portion for North America, the 6 thrusters before they head back to the wall.
Now the thing with this worm, Sean, is that traditional worms for the 4-person worm is 2 100-pound sections and 2 70-pound sections between the men and the women. With it being 222 pounds, it still averages out to be about the same, maybe a little bit more weight per person on this. But what's a little bit different about this is the width and thickness of this version is just a touch more than the worms we've seen in competitions, because the one we've seen in competitions, they've been used and abused for years now, so they start to take a little bit more shape of the individual. This is going to be a little bit tougher because it sits off their center line just a little bit more than what an other worm would be. And we saw that come into play on the squats, and especially when we see them do the thrusters, because that weight is so far off the side of their body, that actually poses more of a challenge than the actual weight of the worm.
Well, now the North America team getting a little out of sorts with that worm. They are the second of 3 rounds of that complex, and now North America starting to run into some trouble here. Danielle Brandon, you can see her in the back trying to shout some instructions. The world team has now caught up, and they have taken the lead here as the North American team has got to dump the worm. And no rep on the right, though, for the world team.
Well, and then Danielle Brandon, if she's the captain out there, she needs to calm the group just a little bit, because when the worm hits the ground, there is a burpee penalty. So not only do you lose time, but you spend more energy. What I'm noticing from Team World is they have the opposite thing going on. Toomey is in the front, and she is calling the action for the girls behind her. And that, when you can't hear on the competition floor because it's loud, the music is pumping, you've got a lot of things going on. So if you can't hear the person in charge, then you should be able to see the person in charge.
And now the world team is into their 3rd and final round of the 18 push press, 12 squats, and 6 thrusters as North America is getting the worm, back onto their shoulders to try to close out their 2nd round, and they're now just starting their squats. So you can see Tia, close to the camera, just took a look at where the North America team was, and this is what you were talking about earlier. You only have 1 team you're competing with. Let that dictate your rest.
Sort of. You actually have 2, because it's the combined time between the men and the women. So if you're sitting there resting, you're not getting a win here. You're getting a time here. So you need to get as much time as you can for your men.
With only 2 teams out here battling head-to-head.
World team on to round 3. Final round here of this complex before going back to the wall, where they will perform 18 wall walks.
And Team North America finishing up round number 2.
Now Team North America will join them
Into the 3rd and final round as
in round 3.
team back on track. Tia-Clair
World team into their 12 squats.
looking to finish up round number 3. 4 squats to go, make it 2 now.
Danielle Brandon talking some things over with Ariel Lone and Emily Rolfe as they have yet to start round 3 here.
We're going to go back to the wall for 18 wall walks.
Now 6 final thrusters for the world team before closing out the first of 3 total rounds of the wall walks and movements on the worm.
Somebody make some noise for Team World staying out in.
Actually, Sean, I might have that wrong. It looks like you will get a point for the women and you will get a point for the men. So if that is the case, then they're absolutely doing the right thing. It's just to take their time, because Team North America is absolutely falling apart at the seams.
Here at the Tier
So that is something that has changed.
Team World.
We'll see how this plays out. We do know the world is leading.
They're 18 alternating wall walks. That unforgiving world.
The 18 wall walks.
A little bit of trouble for Team
World.
As Team World.
It's Emma Tall. Now hands things off to Tia Toomey. The Sayer Kyle will be next, middle of your screen. North America now on to their worm squats in round 3. They really had some problems here on this portion of the event.
Here goes Team World.
If you've never used this before, it's an equalizer, and what it really is, it's a lie detector. You think you have all your ducks in a row, you think you're a good team, you think you're a good leader, you think you're a good follower. Well, we're gonna find out, and the worm always finds out if you've got your stuff together or you don't.
Shoulders gotta be screaming.
And North America heading back to the wall for their round of 18.
again, if you're just joining us, our elite women from both Team North America and Team World going at it. Our elite men, teams of 3, waiting patiently here at Tier 1.
Okay, we have gotten clarification. I am being told it is combined total for both heats.
All right, well then I stand by my original sentiments. You better get your butt in gear because, listen, I don't care how far ahead of you are. If you are combining the times for one score, which I do like combining them, is you need to get your boys as much time as you possibly can.
And on round number 2, 4 reps to go for Team World. As we cross over
Tia Toomey, who's been in both events so far. Sayar Kaya in the white top, next to go. Emma Tall will be 3rd. North America on the far end of the floor in the all blue trying to catch up here.
Just when you thought wall walks were easy to do, you have your team. Sean, I can't say it enough of how much I love seeing this waterfall rep style out here for these wall walks.
It is truly fast.
World team moving back to the worm. They will only now perform 2 rounds of the complex of the push press, squats, and thrusters.
In event number 2, North America in event 1.
And they do not look like they are in any hurry here. Left side of your screen is North America. Pat Vellner out there trying to coach Danielle Brandon and the rest of his team.
Looking to get back up.
Now they'll do 2 rounds. Again, it's 18 push press, 12 squats, 6 thrusters. And this is coming off holding those handstand holds and those walls. There is so much upper body pressing and holding and stability and fatigue in this one. Almost a bit opposite of what we saw in the previous event, which had the chest to bar pull-ups and the kettlebell deadlifts.
On to this first round of squats.
On the 11-minute mark.
And here's what's wild is that we know who is going to be taking on the 3rd event for the lift. Guess who's going to be representing for the 3rd consecutive event for Team World?
How can you not?
I get it, but like, hey, take a breather. Maybe don't, but I'm not surprised. I'm actually curious to see how many events Tia Toomey is going to do over the course of the weekend. She's starting off 3 for 3 so far on Friday.
Looks like they got their communication back on track.
When you have a player that good, you put the player out on the floor as much as you possibly can.
If you're at the Olympics, you don't put Michael Jordan on the bench.
No.
That's all I'm saying. So I'm with you.
1 round done for the world team. North America now getting to the worm.
Now, one reason to take a break between complexes is what we saw in the previous round for North America, is that if you drop the worm at any point in time on the ground, you must do a burpee penalty. I believe it's 5 burpees over the worm with the team. Now, you can sit there and rest on your shoulders all day, but that is fatiguing, so that's where you see a lot of this rest is coming into play.
And there is Pat Vellner looking on as he was down there at the wall earlier trying to help out the women for North America.
Well, Vellner being one of the captains for the North America team. And that's what you want. You want a captain out there, a floor general is what I like to call in the team competition, who's right there on the floor to dictate the pace, the reps, when to rest, when to break, when to push the pace.
Handstand push-ups, those wall walks rather. Down.
12 squats now for the world team. Left side of your screen, North America is now into their first set of squats.
The reason why Vellner's out here, he's not going to be doing the 2nd event for the men for this portion. That'll be Dallin Pepper, Justin Medeiros, and Jeff Adler.
First of 2 here in this round.
Final 6 thrusters for the world team. They'll advance the worm, head back to the wall for 12 more wall walks, and after that, they only have to do 1 round of this complex to close out the event.
Okay, this is where you start to move with haste. It's a total combined time between the two. There's no guarantee that the same thing isn't going to happen to your men. We would not have expected this from the North America women, to implode as they currently are on the worm. That means anybody is capable of this happening on both sides.
Looking for 12 wall walks. from Team World and one final round on the worm.
North America back to work on the worm.
Onto the competition.
Second round of push press, 18 reps they need to complete here.
Lot of communication.
World team in the background getting themselves ready for their final set of 12 wall walks as they are ready to go. Tia Toomey is going to start things off on the right side.
So athletes will all hold, one will go, complete the entire rep, then the next one. And this is where it transitions in saving seconds. The judge is going to give you the go, and they're going to give you the good rep. And being aware, because listen, if we all save ourselves a second in transitions, that means I get to hold about 15 seconds less than I would normally want to. And think about how long that's going to take. Just hold a handstand for 45 seconds, and it's incredibly challenging to do.
Now a break for the world team. North America on their round of 12 squats. They'll have 6 thrusters to close out this complex and then move back to the wall to join the world team. World team back to work on their final 12 wall walks.
Gonna play a factor, but a victory is a victory. 18-minute time cap, Josh. Your leaders, Team World, at the 15-minute mark.
And while Team World's finishing up their handstand walk, I was trying to watch North America on their last set of 6 thrusters, and it got real close to coming down again.
Tries to catch up.
World now on their final few reps as North America is going to join them on the wall here.
Or not.
Make some noise for him,
now run, light jog. Time is a ticking.
Must go faster.
Must go. Dr. Ian Malcolm, paging Dr. Ian Malcolm.
Big smiles from Seher Kaya.
For those of you guys that weren't born before 1994, that is a Jurassic Park reference.
She's right there in the mix, having a good old time.
Always move like a Tyrannosaurus Rex is chasing you.
One final round for Team World. Can they get it done? 18
North America's gotten started on their final set of 12. Now remember, just one round of the complex of the 18 push press, 12 squats, and 6 thrusters for the world team. And if that worm comes down, as Chase mentioned earlier, there is a burpee penalty here. But the world team is going to hand off a pretty good lead to their men here in event number 2.
You see Tia leading from the front. If there's any advice they could give to the men coming up, have your leader, your rep caller in the front where everyone can see them. There is no guarantee you're going to be able to hear the person behind you. You don't want your teammates looking back anyway. You want to be facing forward and following orders.
6 worm thrusters for Team World.
Final 6 reps for the world team.
We're going to tie things up here with Team North America. One final rep to go. They're going to drop that worm. Ladies and
World team is in.
Make some noise for
17-13.
Even things up here.
Unofficially for them. Now the North America team
WZA SoCal.
doesn't look like they're in any hurry to get to the worm.
Team World. As we get about 30 seconds remaining. We're going to bring
And there's an 18-minute time cap.
just a moment as the clock ticks down.
So Vellner out to talk things over here.
Like North America.
You know what I'm curious is, how are we scoring that
Final score.
with a time
North America.
and a time cap?
Shy of that first place position and Team World.
That's a really good question, Chase.
Thank you. Thank you. It's
and there's the time cap.
So then I go back to my original question: Is were we scoring it 2 separate ones?
That's
or
another really good question.
Scoring it as one.
Gentlemen are going to be hitting the floor.
Always exciting here at Wodapalooza. Always keeping us on our toes.
We do know this. The men are up next. As the world team gets in 17 minutes, 17 seconds, North America gets capped. And it was that opening round on the worm that decided this whole event.
Yeah, cap or no cap, right? That's what the kids say, Sean. Well, North America was capping. God, I cannot believe I just said that on air. I want to apologize to all the people who trust me as a broadcaster for saying cap. But that was basically the entire event for the North American women in that 5-second clip, is the struggles that they had, the communication breakdowns between them. And I think a lot of it was, it's not their inability to move the worm. These are some of the fittest people on the planet. But it's your ability to work as a team, follow the leader who's calling those reps, and it's got to be in the front.
Let's send it down to Bella Martin, who is with Tia Toomey.
Tia, I know you're a phenomenal elite individual competitor, but clearly you have some leadership skills out here on the floor. You're leading from the front with your team. Were you watching Team North America fall apart and then telling your team, you got to keep going, we got to hold on to this worm?
No, just focusing on yourself. It makes it easy when you have a really good team behind you. And so the girls and I did a really great job, communicated, slowed it down. We looked to you. I'm sure the boys know what to do. Maybe we shouldn't have rested as much as we did. I didn't know that. Damn it. Whoops.
Thank you, Tia. We'll see how your team does.
Clearly not
Well,
a super great leader now.
well.
There's just surprises everywhere for everyone.
well.
All right, our gentlemen are coming up in 30 seconds.
Well, the men
A substitution
will be out on the floor next,
Guimayeros in for BKG.
as the world team has made a substitution. Now, that is allowed.
I'm here for it.
So, Guimayeros is going to be on the floor.
Now, interesting with that is that Guy is also doing the lift, and Tia is also doing the lift, and Guy did the first event. So you're putting your two left lifters in two back-to-back events going into that third final one for tonight.
There's Danielle Brandon, Guimayeros, and Brent Fikowski for the world team.
Representing North America,
As it was Mayeros who subbed in for BKG.
Hey, I'm here for it. That's what I want to see in a team competition. Sub when you need to sub. More strategy, more shell gaming between your teams, and that's what has been, I would say, missing in the team competition for years now. Now, if you guys are just seeing this for the first time, this is what I like to call a waterfall style rep scheme. It's 24 total alternating wall walks, but the team must be holding that wall facing handstand while each one does an individual rep.
So it's Dallin Pepper, Justin Medeiros, and Jeff Adler for North America. 24 total reps here in round one. And now Brent Fikowski just got hit with the no reps. The world team's got to get this figured out. And here comes Guimayeros. Then Danielle Brandon will be next.
And anything can happen, Mike. One small slip up could cost your team. It's all about how
And North America 6 away
with your teammates.
from finishing up.
And Josh, it was really cool. The team captain Fikowski ran up
Oh,
to me right
uh-oh.
declaring his
That was Danielle Brandon who came off the wall.
It's probably the shirt. That's probably a good idea. Usually that's the case. The shirt trips me up. I should take it off. Nobody's complaining.
strategizing here on day number one.
Yeah, so Danielle's going to have to do his rep again.
It's a great concept.
The North America's done. They'll head to the worm. Now, depending on how this is scored, because the women were capped for North America, the world team finished in 17-17. That is 43 seconds faster than the 18-minute time cap time. But again, depending on how that is scored.
As back and forth, this worm weighs more than the women's does.
The first of 3 sets of that push press, squat, and thruster complex for North America. And for more on the worm, let's send it back down to the competition floor where Bella Martin is.
Team North America is making quick work of this worm, and that's what was expected going into this event for the men. Both Justin and Jeff have experience on the worm at Wodapalooza, so they know exactly what communication needs to happen so it can be executed flawlessly. Unlike their female team, they know what they need to do, and we'll see if they can get it done.
Well, if you look at those three athletes, Sean, it's like, hey, who's good at high volume squatting?
Yes.
Dallin Pepper. Who else? Jeff Adler. But who else? Justin Medeiros. There's a reason why all three of them are in this event.
First set of that complex done for North America, and the world team still on the wall.
Still on the wall. This is unreal. And Sean, we said it. We said it earlier about anything can happen, and I wasn't expecting the wall to be derailing the world team. But the question is, okay, how are we going to handle the time cap? Right? Because the women basically for North America didn't even do the entire last round. None of the wall walks or the last worm. I can tell you what I would do in that situation is I used to do this for my gym when we would do the open and people would get time capped, but we still need to get times for athletes. Is what we did is we basically took the time cap, the total number of reps they did, made it a second per rep designation. All right, you didn't do the last 20 reps. Well, it was taking you 4.7 seconds a rep times 20. That's the number we're going to add to your time cap. But I'm just a guy next to another guy.
Talking about people working out fast.
Hot tag. Was it the move? We'll find out.
North America now has one set to go on this complex. And the world team is just having trouble getting themselves on track. They're on the thrusters, so this will be the final portion of the opening complex for them. And now back to 18 push press.
About
North America.
310 pounds on the worm for the men, so just over 100 pounds per person. Now, it's not exactly designated like that, but very similar weight distribution as the normal 4-person worm would be.
So one final push press.
We'll see Dallin, who's calling the reps for his team in the front. So lesson learned.
Round number 3. Get back to those wall walks. Round number 2, Josh.
12 squats here for the North America team. The world team is on to their second set of 18, and they're having all kinds of trouble here on this. And now they get that sorted, back to work in their second of 3 rounds of this complex. The North America men, if they want to have a chance of bringing home their second straight event win, need to beat the world team by a sizable margin.
Yeah, we'll just say a lot.
They got to beat them by a lot. How much? Don't concern yourselves with that. It's just a lot.
Well, here's the thing. They are on pace just by the way we've seen things go in the first round.
Huntington Beach.
Guy's got to be careful. Guy in the back, he's sitting in the back, so they switched positions as he's not holding it with his hands. That just makes it really easy for that bag to slip off the back, and then you got to do a burpee penalty.
North America back to the wall. 18 wall walks now for them, as on the right side of your screen, the world team, Guy Mayeros, Aniol Akai, and Brent Fikowski are trying to close out their second of 3 complexes on the worm with those 18 push press, 12 squats, and 6 thrusters.
You just see him laboring underneath that worm.
So 2 rounds done for them. They will move into round 3.
Doing their best.
North America team talking some things over here as now they are ready to start their set of 18.
North America.
Now that is a nice stacked position. That is a stacked position that would make Adrian Bossman smile.
Setting the stage for one heck of a week.
18 reps of these alternating wall walks in this waterfall style format. One goes, the next goes, and the next goes. Those that are not working must be holding the entire time.
Well, once again, we're now being told that it is individual scores here.
Oh, know of.
So
All
it's
right.
not total, it's
All
just
right.
individual.
Tia, you did a good job.
We'll see if that changes again.
Yeah, it might change before the end, but for now, I'll swing back to the other side. It's, Tia, wonderful job navigating the competition floor, so you did get yourself a point. And yes, if that's the case, that's exactly what you should have done on the competition floor. And then 5 minutes when we get a new update, I'll tell you that's exactly what you shouldn't have done.
So we'll call it tied at 1 right now.
The rubber match for event 2. Now, it's important for Team North America when it looks like if they can keep this pace, they're going to be just fine to pick up another point, is that they're going to have their hands full going into the lifting event. If it stands like it does now, and you got Guy lifting and Toomey lifting for the world team, that is going to be a tough duo to beat no matter who you have on your team. So getting this point is very important for Team North America.
Jeff Adler was trying to get the crowd behind him here. I think everyone's hands are in their pockets because they're trying to stay warm right now. That's why maybe they're not clapping as loudly as he'd like. But the North America team has a 21 rep lead right now on the world team.
TYR WZA SoCal. You're witnessing the inaugural TYR Cup event. Our athletes representing North
Pepper, Medeiros, and Adler having no problem with this movement. And we saw the world team really struggle with this portion of the event as the world team is now just done with their third complex there in that opening round. They'll head back for 18 more wall walks.
And this is the game within the game. Team World is leaving as Team North America gets to it. So what do you have to do? Just take your time. Do what the genius Tia-Clair Toomey just did in the previous.
That's what that idiot in the booth was telling you to do.
Not this guy. There's a reason why I'm up here freezing my butt off with a hoodie around my headset. I can't do what you guys do. This is it. This is the fun part of the game within the game. It's like, hey, how do you feel? I'm a little tired. All right, let's take some rest. One reason I should be taking some rest is because the man in the front of the line is Jeff Adler, who is slated to do the lifting portion in the next upcoming event.
Now 2 rounds at the complex. They start with 18 push press. This is North America into 12 squats and 6 thrusters. And again, if that worm hits the ground during the complex, there is a burpee penalty that you have to perform.
I love that. I love that that is a part of this, is that you have to hold on to that worm the entire time. 18 shoulder to overhead, 12 squats, and then 6 thrusters. That's a lot of time under tension, 36 reps per complex. And putting that penalty in here just to make sure they do, because you can get cute, you can start the game, and you can game it like DT. I'll do my 18 reps and drop it. I'll do my squats and drop it, right? But now you got to hang on to it, and if you don't, it's going to be worse for you.
Our athletes advancing. That second round of that worm complex. Here we go. Medeiros wants a Friday night party. Let's give it to him, Huntington Beach. There we go.
North America is running away with this portion. We are tied at 1.
Officially unofficial.
Officially unofficial. 1 point each for North America and the world as the world women took the opening heat of this event to add a point to their total, but it looks like the North America men are going to put their squad back in front. No rep. Don't drop it.
Annual events for years to come as our elite athletes on the road.
Now you can get a no rep. Just the worm can't touch the ground before the complex is over.
Meanwhile, the world team, they're still going through their set of 18 wall walks. It's an 18-minute time cap here.
I don't know if you've noticed, but our athletes from North America switching up their position on the worm. Adler was in front. Now it is Pepper.
Now 6 thrusters after these squats, and North America will head back to the wall for 12 more wall walks.
Or you can just sit there and watch the world team do their 18, which is exactly what I would do if I were captaining this team.
So before North America even picked up the worm for this complex at the beginning of it, they were clearly watching what World was doing. They said, let's not start until these guys get going.
It is exactly what you should be doing in this head-to-head format, which is a part of the game and it's a part of the competition.
For the final time, 12.
Well, as you said, I think what makes this format so fun is that it adds that element.
Yes.
And there they go, wasting no
The world team is still on their 18 wall walks here.
2 more reps to go in round number 2 for Team World.
Pepper, Medeiros, and Adler continue to make quick work of these movements as they did in the first and second round. They've had no problem here.
Come on, Huntington Beach. I know North America's in the lead right now.
The world team is now moving back to the worm.
Now when it comes to worm work, there's one rule and one rule only, is don't put your tallest guy in the middle. Shout out to my buddy Tim Payne, who found that out the hard way 2017 regionals, where if you put the tallest guy in the middle, they take all the weight. So Brent Fikowski, stay in the front or in the back. Guy Harrells can just pass the worm over his head between him and Yoel and Brent Fikowski.
Basically spotting at this point is Guy.
Guys doing great. Keep it up. I'll count the reps.
The North America is now done with their wall walks. They're heading back to the world. One more complex for them, and they will put one more point on their total, and their team will take a 2-1 lead going into the third and final of the night.
I like how they're just starting. Little exclamation point. It's called a victory lap.
An 18-minute cap. Everybody's got their phones out. And look at them go.
And that time it's Adler in front.
Onto those worm squats.
12 squats. And the 6 thrusters. And that'll do it.
And poor tall Dallin Pepper sitting in the middle.
Now, this is the only event he's got to do tonight.
Yeah, so take the heavy lifting for your buddies.
And they're so far ahead, he could probably do this by themselves or by himself, and they'd still win.
I could probably just break, do the burpees, and pick it up again just for fun. Not that that's fun. But
final thrusters done, and North America.
All right.
Picks up a point as the men outduel the men of the world team.
Little seesaw battle onto that competition floor. All right, Team World said that's enough for us.
And Team World is going to tap out.
I don't blame him. I don't blame him at all. I would request to do the same thing.
And that is setting the stage for the main event.
Nothing I dislike doing more is more work for 0 points.
It's going to be one you do not want to miss.
A great event from Adler, Pepper, and Medeiros. It was pretty much flawless the entire time for them.
Right from the jump, and we talked about this when the women were going, is listen, just you never know what's going to happen on the other side, and I did not think that it was going to be the handstand walk that was going to be the major separator between these two teams, but North American men just looked so good and smooth, and you can just see just the miscommunication and miscues on Team World. But it was those handstand walks just ate that team alive and was the big separator between the two.
And the North America team picking up another point. They are back in front, heading into the third and final event of the night. down to Bella Martin with your winning team.
All right, boys. So there was a little bit of a plot twist. You did get an event win, no matter what happened with the ladies. So congratulations on that to North America. But there was a little bit of drama here. I've never seen a team tap out. Justin, you just caused Team North or Team World to tap out. What are we feeling?
Yeah, I know. I mean, honestly, we had it from the beginning. And we finished that first 3 rounds way ahead. We decided to take a break and try to let them catch us, but we wanted to put on a show for you guys. We put the hammer down, finished the workout strong, and they decided to stop. So just want that to be known. We're out here for you guys, and appreciate all of you guys being out here.
Dallin, it was fun to watch you in the front of the worm leading the pack with not only 1, but 2 of the fittest men on earth. You just finished on the podium at the games this year. What's it like being on a team with these guys?
Man, I mean, if you look at our team, we're the best in the world, and I think we're going to show that this weekend. So here we go.
Dallin, team, thank you so much. Jeff, I see you on the floor.
Man, Sean, that was nothing short from a quote from Ricky Bobbins. Listen, I just piss excellence.
Well, North America, the men, 15:57.30 seconds. The world team said, nah, we're done. And now the North American team is back in front, 2-1, heading into the third and final event of the night. The heavyweights are coming out next. And that should be a lot of fun under the lights here at Huntington Beach as the TYR Cup continues. Stay with us, everybody. Third and final event of Friday as action continues here in Huntington Beach, California. Time to lift big at the beach, as the third and final event of the TYR Cup is presented by Reign, the official energy drink of TYR Wadapalooza. Thanks for being with us, everybody. I'm Sean Woodland with Chase Ingram. Your standings after 2 events. North America leads 2 points to 1, but the world team has a great opportunity to tie things up here. We're going to start this event with a coin toss. Let's send it down to the competition floor to figure out who is going to lead things off here in event number 3.
All right, just about ready for event number 3. Put your eyes up on the big screen for our event number 3 description.
Event 3 is our total combined load spotlight weightlifting event. 45 seconds athlete 1, 45 seconds athlete 2, 45 seconds athlete 3.
Right, coming out of this, we got description on gold.
3 rounds of snatches. We go into a 6-minute transition.
Bella
and we follow the same
on
pattern
Adler
for 3 rounds of clean measures. For total combined load.
All right, that's your event 3 description. Now, who is going to be? For Team North America, going to be Bjorgvin and Karl. For Team World, it's going to be Gudmundson and Tia-Clair Toomey. I need one captain from each team. Out here to the center.
Looks like a white guy handshake to me.
Our inaugural patch win. To decide who makes the decision, who snatches first. Team World, Team North America. Team World, you have one of the win. Who will be snatching first? Will be snatching first. Team World snatches first. Already heard of Team World. Let's get to the barbell first. Athletes, you got 2 minutes to get to your platforms and load up the front barbells.
Pretty simple for event number 3.
I love that we get 3 lifts if we are doing an Olympic weightlifting total. 3 attempts at the snatch, 3 45-second lifting windows for the clean and jerk. Total combined weight with the men and the women to get 1 point for your team.
In a simple event like this, what are the keys?
Well, here's the thing, like if you're sitting in the wings and you're waiting, is that you have a 45-second window, Sean. So one of those keys is get some lifts early, because you can hit a warm-up lift and then another lift in that 45-second window because your team is changing out the plates. But play the field. Who's doing what? Know what weight you need to hit, and then you'll be able to hit your lists.
Your lineup for event number 3 is going to be Jeff Adler and Ariel Lowen taking on Tia Toomey and Guy Mayeros.
Well,
on that, let's go down to Bella Martin.
I caught up with Jeffrey Adler earlier just to see how he was feeling about going into a weightlifting competition head-to-head against Guy Mayeros. And I'll tell you what, it wasn't sounding very optimistic. Team North America just put on a crazy performance in event number 2, but Jeff essentially bowed down to Guy and Team World for this complex, saying that there's no way he's going to beat Guy, but he's going to do his best. And I think we might see a 375 clean and jerk coming from Team World, but we'll find out.
Sean, let's be like, hey, what do you think would happen if you fought the Hulk?
Get out there and do your best, son. We're all very proud of you.
As my dad used to tell me, it's just, you know, give him your best effort. And
yep. Sometimes you just got to take the L.
Let the chips fall where they may.
But keep in mind, this will now be the third event of the night that Guy Majeros has done.
Yes.
Like Tia Toomey.
Yes.
So you're saying there's a chance?
There's always a chance. And that's the thing with not necessarily clean and jerk. That's more of a and we don't have pressed out calls here on the competition floor. Sorry, weightlifting purists. This is a CrossFit event after all. So the clean and jerk, that's just, it's a bit more brute strength. It doesn't have to be pretty or perfect. You can have a low elbow clean if you can hang on to the bar. You can press out your jerks, but the snatch, everything needs to be perfect. If you're an inch in front too far or behind the bar too much, that bar is coming down. You can save a clean. You can maybe even save a jerk. You are not saving a snatch. So if there's one thing not lining up, this is where any potential of, like you said, anything can happen. Well, it'll happen on the snatch.
North America leads 2 points to 1 coming into this event. Very good chance we're going to be tied after day number 1.
Yes, there is. And it look on again, we're going off paper, but on paper.
More time for athletes to warm up. We're going to take a break here.
We're going to take a quick break as the athletes continue to warm up. And we'll be back to bring you the entirety of event number 3. So don't go anywhere, everyone. Action continues here in Huntington Beach.
Nice and hot down here on the floor. Up close to all that action.
We are set for the third and final event of Friday night, presented by Reign, the official energy drink of TYR WZA. I'm Sean Woodland alongside Chase Ingram. Bella Martin is down on the competition floor, along with some very heavy barbells. Tia Toomey now competing in her third straight event of the evening.
I mean, she's the best you got. You need to get a point. You got to put your best out there on the floor. This is not, it's not like she's not used to this kind of volume and intensity.
Tia Toomey will be paired with Gudmundson, who is also competing in his third event of the night. But this is the reason you put Gudmundson on your team, is for this specific challenge.
He is hands down, far and away, the best lifter in the sport, and arguably the best lifter we have ever had in the sport. Not just with strength, but his technique is absolutely flawless.
One and lift.
All right, here we go. Gee, setting up.
Gudmundson is going to make his first attempt and hit that easily.
Asking for the camera.
Oh my goodness. Now you get 45 seconds to do the lift. You can take multiple attempts. Your teammates can change the weights for you. As he said, an opening lift of 265.
Lift for Gudmundson.
And remember, it is total between the two teammates.
225.
That's 265 for the world team, not 274. They have 265 right now.
Now,
as Jeff Adler steps up to his barbell, and he will not make that. He's got plenty of time to make another run at it, though. 45 seconds in the window.
Okay.
Why not?
You see the bar sliding as he has those little green plates on there, and that's just to keep the bar from rolling forward. What Jeff does is he pulls the bar back so he's not lifting off of the plates. Now, quick change here, and this is what I said in my keys to success, is that lift multiple reps when you can. So in that 45 seconds, as Jeff hits that, is that as long as it's within that time frame.
Looks like Jeff jumped up to 245 and made that. Here's Tia Toomey with her opening attempt. That's no problem for her.
Okay, 45 seconds, change the plates, get another lift. Especially these early ones, 225, 245. I know Jeff missed that lift, and that, like you said earlier, everything technically needs to be perfect and in line. But get a warm-up lift, and then hit another one so that you don't have to make a bigger jump on the next one.
Toomey's good. At 195. And now Ariel Lowen is up.
Looks like 185 for Ariel Lowen as well for her opening. A little bit out in front. Looks like she tried to stand up, and this is a common thing you'll tell athletes is like, listen, just stay in the hole. Stay in the bottom of that squat until you know you have it. You're not going to fail the lift overhead. Is that you'll be able to sustain that, and then she misses again.
She's running out of time here in this 45-second window here. Here's attempt number 3.
There it is.
And she will make that.
Still a little close. And that happens. First rep hitters, especially with snatch. There are 285s on the bar.
The Majeros.
Oh my goodness.
Just picture perfect with that.
I love watching Guy lift.
Have you ever seen him, even when he's above this, look like his form is degrading at all?
The only time I saw it happen was during that clean front squat shoulder to overhead complex where he had to like double re-rack the shoulder to overhead part, but that was just because of the fatigue portion of that. So you see Jeff's leg is over the bar. That's because that bar is rolling forward a little bit. And so they had him take the plates off the platform, which is safer.
And Adler will
there you go.
Make his attempt.
They made a big jump there, so he had 245. He's got, looks like he has a blue, yeah, so 260 for Jeff.
Well, the total right now is 475 for the world, 430 for North America.
Looks like Tia might have 195 on the bar.
195 on the bar.
Well, she has 190 in the bank so far. You can see the card on the right side of her screen. So just a 5-pound jump for Tia. So I'm not sure if she's trying to go for 2 lifts here or just one.
Her first attempt for Toomey is going to count.
Strategizing with her team is where she'll go next.
I don't think she's going to take a second lift. I think they're just trying to decide on where she's going to go. I mean, it's 195. Let's take a pause here and realize we're flirting with the 200-pound snatch at the moment. So I'm speaking casually at 195, but that's a great lift for Tia.
Ariel Lowen's going to be up next.
Lowen that's also 195. Now, her first 3 attempts, she should be plenty warm for this attempt now that she took 3 in the first round.
And Lowen is good on her first attempt.
Much, much better.
The totals on the floor have the world team up 480 now to 455.
And really it's just the pound separation that we're going to focus on just because math is hard under this. But Team World, as it stands now, has a 25-pound lead on North America because Tia and Ariel have both hit the same weight. So it's just Guy.
3:05 for Guy Mayeros. And that is perfect. Guy Mayeros at 3:05.
And asking for some love, 3:05 for Guy Mayeros.
And Jeff Adler gets to follow that.
I mean, just a 3:05 after the first 2 events that you've already done.
280 on the ball.
And it looked like that.
The 260 is Adler's last successful lift. He's got 280 on the bar now.
3, 2, 1, lift. Adler standing up with 280.
And there is Jeff Adler, good at 280. Just trying to keep the North America team close heading into the clean and jerk portion of this.
So 280, 3:05, so the same 25-pound lead going into the women's last snatch attempt. Both hit 195. And looks like Tia's added 5 pounds, so this is a 200-pound attempt. Ariel has her bar loaded the same at the moment.
So Tia Toomey now at 200 pounds.
That's
and
what you want to see.
Toomey has that in the bag, and the world team is building a pretty good lead heading into the second portion of this event as Ariel Lowen has yet to do her final snatch.
But you saw how she stayed down there for that extra split second just to make sure she secured the bar overhead.
She might make another run here.
Again?
Jumping up to 205.
Okay. Okay. All right. I don't know if I wanted my jaw to hit the ground that hard if she were to do that. Yeah, this is big for Ariel.
Well, the score as it stands now, 5:05 for the world team, 4:75 for North America. This lift pending for Ariel Lowen. And she hits 200 pounds for Ariel Lowen.
That's going to be that might be close to a PR for Ariel. She doesn't do a lot of maxes in her training. Really the only time she maxes out in competition, and 200 pounds for Ariel Lowen is absolutely incredible.
The high fives for everybody. I see the entire North America coaching staff back there. And now we'll move into the clean and jerk.
3, 2, 1, and time. 6-minute transition. 6-minute transition.
So 5:05, Sean, for Worlds. 480 for North America. So Worlds up 25 pounds going into the clean and jerk. That clean and jerk's actually a better lift for Jeff Adler. But Errol Lowen going toe-to-toe with the 7-time champ. Toomey missed 185 twice on the first round and ended with 200. Then Toomey, and watch in that bottom receiving position. Shout out, Coach B. I'll be scarred forever. That just half-second pause to secure things out. And a lot of times, athletes that don't have the confidence will try to shoot out of the bottom of the hole too quick and drop the bar. And then I'll just shut up and just let everybody enjoy this for the next 10 seconds.
Love this guy. That's his replay.
Got 305.
300-pound snatch on the big screen.
All right.
And look at the weight he's warming up with.
But we're warming up right now, the clean and jerks. This is not live action.
Okay.
This is just a warm-up. And they've reset the total on the floor. But as you mentioned, Chase, going into this, assuming it is now the total of the clean and jerk and the snatches, we'll take another look at Gee's 305. It's 505 to 480 with the world team in the lead.
Good Lord. Now, I would say that as absurd as that is, I'm trying to remember tough lifts for Gee, and now I remember which one it was. Visually, maybe not the cleanest lift he ever did, but he was a teenager. It's when he snatched, what was it, 290?
It was something ridiculous.
Or 296 as a teenager that made its rounds around Madison, Wisconsin. It's like, hey, listen, I know we're doing a max snatch for men today, but this kid just put up one of the heaviest lifts we've ever seen in live competition.
So the athletes are going to get about 6 minutes to warm up here, as Guy Majero should be all smiles after that lift.
Hey, that only means the lifts are going to be heavier. I'm all for it.
We'll take a break. When we come back, the clean and jerk portion of event number 3 here at TYR WZA SoCal as the TYR Cup competition continues.
Here we go. Our athletes will be joining us here in just a moment. This is the final one. A max clean and jerk. Our athletes will have 3 attempts. Starting off with the men. Team World. I'll like them to go first. Guy Majero on deck. Followed by Jeffrey Adler. Then we move on to Tia-Clair Toomey. And then Errol Lowen. Our athletes will have 3 attempts.
They put the weights. What's the opener for Guy? Oh my goodness.
2 minutes, athletes, 2 minutes.
I really don't like how we're delayed.
So we're starting with Errol Lowen. Followed by Tia-Clair Toomey, then Adler, and then Guy Majero will finish up.
Gudmundson has already hit a 305-pound snatch. We'll see what he has in the tank here as we enter the clean and jerk portion of event number 3 here in Huntington Beach at TYR WZA SoCal. The TYR Cup competition continuing. Glad you're with us, everybody. I'm Sean Woodland with Chase Ingram. And Bella Martin is down there patrolling the sidelines for us as Tia, Toomey, and company continue to warm up here before we start officially the clean and jerk portion of this event. Right now, the world team leads by 25 pounds, 505 pounds to 480.
You're saying Guy is offended myself personally with how easy that 305 was, and I'm assuming I'm going to be triggered on the clean and jerk coming up shortly.
This is a safe space for you.
10 seconds. Starting on the left side.
Ariel Lowen will kick things off.
Stand by.
She's going to open at 235.
Whew. We'll see if this opener goes better than the snatch. However, it paid off for her on the end. Nice. Oh, wow, right into it.
That is good for Ariel Lowen.
Team captain Danielle Brandon.
And now Tia Toomey will be up next. She has 240 on the bar.
Tia-Clair Toomey setting up for 240 here in just a moment. Right now.
We saw when we started with the snatches that a lot of athletes took multiple attempts in the first 45 seconds, and you just want to start to dial that in. The snatch has to be a bit more perfect than the clean and jerk does, but they're warm by now, so we probably won't see a lot of multiple rep attempts in the first clean and jerk.
Tia Toomey at 240 to open up her first of 3 lifts. And that is no problem.
So just continuous math. It was a 25-pound lead that Team World had, and as it stands for the men they'll now move up to a 30-pound lead. Although Jeff Adler can hang on the clean and jerk a bit
Adler's
more.
got 320 on the bar. Right now, Gudmundson says 345.
All right, well, you know,
so
the definition of hanging it varies from person to person.
Unless Guy just all of a sudden forgets how to lift. It's not looking very good for North America.
I did see his most recent reel he posted on Instagram. Hopefully that doesn't happen here, but
320 good for Adler. His pit crew will join him at the weights to help him set up for his next lift. Now, close out round 1 with Gudmundson at 345.
This is the same warm-up Guy's done. I think he's done this 1 or 2 times prior to this attempt that he's doing it in his warm-up.
Sitting up for 345. Gets underneath the bar.
And that went about as you would expect. No problem for Gudmundson. Round 1 is done, and the world team will widen their lead here. Looking to tie things up heading into day 2 at 2 points apiece.
So 5 points, or 5 pounds added to the 25 from Tia to 30. Add another 25 to that. So currently world is up by 55 pounds.
1,035 is the score for North America. 1,090 is the score for Team World.
Ariel Lowen, round 2, moving up to 245 pounds.
1 lift. 245 on the bar.
So a 10-pound increase for Ariel.
Gets underneath the bar. All smiles for Ariel.
And that is good for Ariel Lowen.
I love how happy Ariel is after her list.
As she adds 245 to the North America total.
Okay, so that's put herself 5 pounds ahead of Tia. And now Tia's jumping or attempting 5 pounds more than Ariel just did. Tia, who has 240 in the bag.
Tia in the zone. 3, 2, 1, lift. 250 on the bar for
250 now for Tia Toomey.
She fights to get it up. Gets underneath and stands tall.
And that is good.
Tia-Clair Toomey adding
Okay, another 5 pounds. 55 pounds is now 60-pound lead that Team World has on North America.
Well, Adler is going up to 340.
Ooh.
Remember, Guy opened at 345.
So a 20-pound increase for Adler.
But right now, this is, unless something drastic happens here.
Which, in the world of weightlifting, we hope doesn't happen.
It's a very good point.
Different for something happening on maybe drastic on the worm.
Nicely done.
340 is good for Jeff Adler. Bring Guy Majeros up, who's going up to 365.
Some more points.
A 20-pound increase for Guy.
And Guy looking for a little love. He got the 2 1 for Friday night. My man's about to lift 2-1 lift. My man's about to lift 365.
Man.
He's so fast under the bar.
Just one giant fast twitch muscle. Round 2 is done. The world team will continue to increase their lead.
25 pounds more than Jeff.
Be a 55-pound lead that they have right now unofficially.
The third and final attempt.
Ariel Lowen's going to go up to 250.
So that'll match what Tia did previously.
North America looking to tie it up after day 1. Or excuse me, world trying to tie it up after day 1. North America trying to
250. The jerk remains for Ariel Lowen for this to count.
Nice.
And she has it.
You gotta love Ariel Lowen as she gets a successful lift. And world lengthening their lead and with a successful lift here.
Tia Toomey will be up next at 255.
For North America as 255 on the bar for Tia-Clair Toomey. 3, 2, 1, lift. Make some noise for the best in the world. It's underneath it. Ladies and gentlemen, give it up for
And Toomey is good at 255. A nice moment there between Toomey and Ariel Lowen. Adler for his final lift up to 360.
I mean, 2 moms out here just slinging weights on the platform.
Man.
So Adler's making another 20-pound jump to 360.
Looks like Vellner's John and Majeros a little bit there.
360.
360 for Jeff Adler, third and final lift for him.
And Adler with a successful lift.
And that is good for Jeff Adler, 360 to close things out. Now, Guy Majeros' team has already got the event win in the bag. He's going to go up to 385.
Ladies and gentlemen, I want you to get him on your feet.
Now 380. So 380 for Guy Majeros. Doesn't need it, but wants to put on a show here for the fans.
3, 2, 1, lift. 380 pounds on the bar.
Don't blink, you might miss this.
Ooh.
And no doubt for Guy Majeros, 380 pounds world team. Ties things up 2 apiece after day number 1.
Triggered. I am. I'm triggered. It's official.
I've always said I'd love to run a 4.240 just to feel what that feels like, because that's something I'm never going to do. I want to know what it feels like to lift like that.
I don't know what else to say about it, because I mean, if you want to go like, he's so quick under the bar. He doesn't even get to full extension on the second pull on the clean, but he's so fast and he's so strong he doesn't need to. And then on the shoulder overhead, his split is so short and quick, but he's just so strong and he's so fast.
Let's take a look at the final round. Last lift for Ariel Lowen at 250.
It's a good lift for Ariel. I mean, and you can see, you don't see this in real time because this is slow motion a little bit, but the weight sitting on your shoulders for that long and it being so difficult, and then to hit that lift, and then Tia come out. Tia was just playing a 5-pound game. Now it's a little 5 pounds over Ariel, get an extra 5 pounds for the clean and jerk, and then yeah, flex on him. You've earned it. You do whatever you want out there. And then Jeff Adler. Good lift for Jeff, and Jeff coming off the event 2. Didn't have to push too hard on it, and then there's just Guy. And like, see how quick he's underneath that bar, and just the turnover, and how quick he moves his feet. That's the biggest split he's done to this point, and you need it as you get a little bit heavier, but man, he's just so fun to watch.
We are all tied up after day 1. Send it down to Bellamart.
All tied up, Ariel, Miss America. Congratulations on those lifts. We know that you don't PR often, but were you excited to hit these lifts today? Were you surprised at all?
Yeah, I PR'd my snatch. I got 200 if you missed it. And then I PR'd my clean and jerk 250. So I don't max out much, so it makes events like this fun that I get to just feel the hype of the crowd.
And you went straight back to the back of the crowd once you hit those lifts. Who's back here supporting you and Team North America this weekend?
My husband and my daughter. Thank you.
Doesn't get any sweeter than that, or maybe it does with a 380 clean and jerk. Guy, you were saying 335 felt a little heavier. What went into heading 380 here tonight on Huntington Beach?
It's crazy. Everyone always asks my plan, what I want to lift. And I'm like, bro, whatever the people want, you gotta give the people what they want. So like, I just put the plates and let them fly.
A man of the people. Guy, you're on Team World. What's been the best part so far about this adventure? Has it been the first day? Has it been just bonding with the rest of your team? What's that been like?
It's just good to share the floor and the team with like so many good athletes and compete against not many athletes, but good athletes, I mean, great athletes, and compete against great athletes. So it's just good to have this environment where no one is fighting each other. We're just like cheering each other and like having like a good competition and a good trash talking and learning a lot from veterans like Pikoski, BKG, Tia. They have been like in the game, like in the sport for longer than I'm born, like I'm alive. So it's crazy to see how they think, how they act, and how they train. It's just good to also have like in the world side, to have all people from all over the world and like learn their languages and cultures. So it's just good to be in this environment.
Guy, it was a pleasure to watch you lift as always. Thank you both.
Thank you. Thank you.
Yet, Sean. Yet. No one's fighting yet. All right, it's day one. Let's circle back when we get to event 10 and 11 coming on Sunday. No one's fighting yet.
It's all fun and games until you start looking at the scoreboard and realizing, oh, there's something seriously on the line here.
How much money are we winning if we win this whole thing? Okay.
And right now, we're tied up. 2 points each. Team World and Team North America heading into Saturday. Thanks so much, everybody, for joining us here on the opening night of the TYR Cup at TYR WZA SoCal. Guy Maieros giving the fans what they want. Ties things up for Team World. Stick around, post-show with Peter and company coming up next as we wrap things up from Huntington Beach.
me show you how to move.
New double chopped salads, now with chicken or Baja shrimp. Only at El Pollo Loco.
The workout was a burner. It was a lot. The assault row was super cool.
I'm out of Armor CrossFit in Orlando. I'm a mom of 4. This is my first Wodapalooza, so I love it. I love the assault runner.
Elizabeth Lane from Salt Lake City, Utah. The assault rower is rough. It's hard. Going into each interval, you just kind of got to pace it. So that's what you do. Hope everybody else did the same.
I like the assault runner a lot. It's very taxing on your hamstrings. I'm in the 16 to 18 boys team division, representing CrossFit 970 in Northern Colorado.
My name is Felipe Garilla. I came from Spain, Indian CrossFit. It's my first time with assault rower. It was good, and I like it.
Jackson, Mississippi, CrossFit 601. Oh, it's so hard. Today's tough.
I think that the more consistently you use the plunge, the more you start to crave it. Your body wants that feeling, whether it's the cold itself or the way that you feel after. I definitely feel like I'm big on celebrating small wins, whether it's in the gym, here at home, in relationships. And so the accomplishment of getting in the cold plunge, staying in for whatever time you've set for yourself is one of those small wins for me. CrossFit by nature puts a lot of wear and tear on your body. We're doing such a variety of movements, lifting heavy weights, which can take its toll on your muscles and joints around your knees and back. With access to cold plunge every day of the week, I feel like the consistent treatment of those aches and pains allows me to feel better and train harder.
Whoop. Sleep better, train smarter, recover faster, and feel healthier. Understand and optimize your sleep. Get coaching and insights for every age, stage, and cycle. Track over 140 habits. Get a 360 view of your training and workouts. Never miss a second of data with a wireless and waterproof charger. Expect all new features all the time.
Okay, so that's day one. We're here with the post show. We've got Lauren Fisher, we've got the fittest husband on earth, we've got Dylan Lohan, and we've got Matt O'Keefe back again for whatever reason he decided to come back.
Can't get enough of me.
So that's day one. I think maybe people had been suggesting that North America were going to run away with this and it was just going to be a whitewash. But we've got 2-2. We've got a tie. So that second event was actually split, and the scoring was split. So it was a point for whichever of the girls' team won, and a point for whichever the guys' team won. And I think that, in particular, made things interesting. Dylan, nerve-wracking, relaxed. Like a lot of people have called this an exhibition. So when you're watching her out there, are you like calm or on edge?
I would say I'm a little bit on edge, to be honest. Watching usually Ariel out there on the field, I'm usually just like checked in on her, but this is the first time watching a team get together, and I'm just as nervous watching the team as I am watching Ariel, even when she wasn't on the field. So it was cool to watch a team go at it and have that same energy that I feel for her with that team.
And you had shouldies the whole way through that. So you had your daughter up on your shoulders for about 2 hours.
Yeah, so I'm going to be honest, guys. I think I worked out harder than anybody on that field today. 40 minutes of straight shoulders of having a 50-pound girl on your back. your shoulders get lit.
Yeah, I could hear the MC saying, it was during the wall walks, the MC was saying like, man, these guys' shoulders must be burning. And Dylan was like, yeah, tell me about it. This is a slog and a half.
Spectating is hard.
Yeah, it requires a lot of
it for like 12, 14 years now, man.
I've done 10,000 steps, man. It's no joke.
It's a beatdown.
I honestly think spectating is harder than competing.
I honestly think there's no way that's true, but maybe on an emotional.
I honestly wished I was out there on the competition floor, but it's been a lot of fun being out here.
What do you think the athletes are thinking now, going back in at 2-2, and it literally is all still to play for tomorrow? Like if you're on one of these teams and you go back, are you just purely exhausted from today, or are you amped to come back out tomorrow?
I mean, I think you're all amped to go out there. I bet they're going to be strategizing for the workouts tomorrow, figuring out which athletes are going to be taking the floor, and obviously planning the workouts, so planning how you're going to attack each one and strategize. So you're not going back to rest and relax and feel exhausted, because there's still 2 full days left.
It's interesting, too, watching the captains and the other teammates that aren't working still having a part to play. Like there's on that first workout, the handstand walk, I saw Brent like sprint off, and I was like, oh, he's obviously out. He's he's too nervous. But he came back with a hoodie, threw it to Guy. They were like drying off the ramps and all this. And it was the same in that lifting event. There was a lot of strategizing going on, and I think this event has been called an exhibition like multiple times, and it's clear they really care about what's happening out there.
I mean, these guys are the best athletes in the world. We talked about this earlier. They're competitors. I mean, you say go, they're going to go really hard. And there's, stakes here, I mean, there's, real prize money involved. And, the winner's going to take home a much bigger check than the loser. Not to mention, like I said before, I mean, they're the most competitive people we know in this space, right? They don't want to lose. Losing is as important as that paycheck. So it's only going to get more and more tight, tense, intense over the next couple days. I mean, if you like hockey, hockey's 3 periods. We just finished period 1. There's a lot left to go here. So I think it's hard to say where it's going to go and how it's going to play out. I think it'll be a lot of fun to watch. Very evenly matched teams. Obviously, it's 2-2.
Hockey, that's the one where the touchdowns, isn't it? They throw the ball.
Yeah, they throw it through the goalposts.
Okay, yeah.
Those are home runs.
Oh, okay. Sorry. Yeah. Okay, that's with the tennis racket. Okay, yeah, I'm with you. I got it. All my American references are up to scratch. So we've got 2-2. We've got tomorrow kind of earlier start. We've got a couple of events that are going to be earlier, and then we're still going to have this tomorrow evening, and we'll be showing some recaps of tomorrow morning's event. With the lifting there, I mean, there was a lot of stuff to take in. So, like, first of all, Guy was just insane. Like, it's incredible. Adler misses his first snatch, so then just goes, I'll just power it, and just powers it and moves on. And then you had like Tia just put on an exhibition throughout as well, and then Ariel PRing both lifts.
So impressive.
Especially on, like, she missed his first snatch a couple of times, and I'm sure, were you a bit like, uh-oh?
No, I had 100% confidence we're going to see some PRs today.
Really?
No pressure. We went into that knowing we're going to take an L, so we just went out there to go have fun.
Yeah, it's also, I mean, there's been a lot said about tongue-in-cheek, from myself included, about you being like her coach and like whatever, but you were genuinely giving some properly useful cues there throughout all of that, like about being patient, about like, chest up, all that kind of stuff. Is that just stuff, do you just say that to sound good, like when you're...
I'd fake it till you make it, baby.
Wait till Matt hears some of the stuff you're saying and says, hey, maybe, we're looking for a new coach at HWPO, maybe we can bring you up.
Give me that cap, dude. I'll be part of HWPO.
Doors always open.
Yeah, if the hat fits, isn't that it? Lauren, so what do you think, like the athletes have obviously taken a bit of a beating, and there was BK had to be subbed out at one of the events because, I guess the events just take a bigger toll than maybe they're anticipating. So do you think that they revisit all the stuff that they have planned tomorrow? Because they obviously had to put their people have to be in already. So do you think after today, maybe some of the athletes on paper, when you're looking at the workout, saying, yeah, I can do that one, I'll be fine Saturday morning, maybe now they're thinking like, actually, like, or is ego and the willingness or the desire to help your team, will that just suppress those kind of feelings, do you think?
I mean, I think as any of those athletes, you want to be the one taking the floor, competing, but I think you also have to be honest and transparent, saying like maybe you wake up tomorrow and say, I'm feeling really sore and beat up from whatever the events that took place today that you took part in. So I think that's the one thing with being on a team, you always have to speak up and let someone know when maybe someone else might be better for this workout to, you know, put their best foot and put their best showing out there.
Yeah, because it was even interesting between, like, there was obviously a lot of shoulders in those first two workouts, and just seeing the toll that it took on, say, like Guy and Danielle particularly, put in a big shift in that first workout, and then we're back out for the second workout, and you could see it was getting really hard to just to make, because there's such a quick turnaround too.
Yeah, we've heard a lot of them talk leading in with some of their planning last night that, you know, I think they had a lot of that in mind, like who's going to take the brunt of day 1, 2, or 3. So there's already been some planning on there, but, you know, this isn't a lot of volume for those guys, if I'm being real. Like, I mean, they're going to be okay. They're going to wake up tomorrow, be a little crusty, get the motor running and go again. I mean, when you're an individual athlete that prepares yourself for the test of the CrossFit Games or an event like Wadapalooza or Rogue, you know, when you get thrown on a team, honestly, and Lauren can speak best to this, you know, I think it's kind of a breath of fresh air. I mean, it's not to say you're not going at your max speed and as hard and you're going to experience some soreness, but like from a volume perspective, I mean, these guys, they're going to be fine. I mean, any of them will be prepared to go at anything they need to tomorrow and Sunday. And again, there's a lot on the line. I mean, you are going to see these guys do whatever they need to do to win.
Well, we'll find out tomorrow, I guess, how fine they're going to be. We're going to wrap it up there. Just before we finish up, I kind of feel like I've made it now that I'm on this stage and I have a mic. So I just want to read out a quick list of people who I feel have wronged me down through the years.
Here we go. Where's my name on that
sorry,
list?
actually, we don't have time for the list, actually. Sorry, I'm sorry. So come back tomorrow. We'll have a pre-show. We'll recap some of the events that happen in the morning, and then we'll kick on 2-2, all to play for. We'll see you tomorrow. Thanks, guys.
Peace.
Thank you.
Thank you.
100 years, we've safeguarded the American homeland at and beyond our borders. We work tirelessly, night and day, from land, sky, and sea. And while much has changed over the past century, our commitment, determination, and mission has not, and it never will. Because we are the United States Border Patrol. Join our mission and write your own history.